Hello everyone, it is the servant of Nitai, or a servant of Krishna online, as for those who know me from my um, very expensive writing project. So recently I received a comment about somebody telling me, it would be better if you just skip to the Karanayashila well. Well, that was basically his comment. Thank you, by the way. That's so we revived this project. So if you ever find this, thank you very much. So without further ado, let's cut to the chase. It is a Vaishnava commentary on Shin Megami Tensei Apocalypse. What did they do right about Krishna? What did they do wrong about Krishna? And be aware that I will teach you quite a few facts about him. So let's start here. Hopefully it won't stutter like crazy. Hey, I'm sorry for the quality. So the first thing we can notice here, wait, here, before they start talking, um, so it may not be obvious to you, but this is a Shiva Linga. Yeah, so in my opinion, this looks a lot like a Shiva Linga. Also, yeah, Shiva Linga. Also, I'm recording this on Shiva Ratri as a Vaishnav. We do, I mean, if when you're a Vaishnav, you forcibly have to believe in all the demigods because they're all your superior in service. So, one thing about Hinduism is that, well, first of all, Hinduism is not a real religion. Sorry to tell you, guy, but um, worshipping all the demigods, well, no, actually, it is a religious path, but it is not what we call Hinduism nowadays. It is not the actual religion. Actual Hinduism, it's called Varnashrama, meaning you have your qualities, your psychophysical nature, and you use them to perform dharmic duties, which is waking up early, doing sacrifices to the demigods. And if you're lucky, you realize that instead of just offering everything to the Shilas, to the demigods, then maybe you should just worship the Shila, which is actually Vishnu. Anyway, but it's not that demigods are not powerful. They are powerful, but let's just say Krishna's at the top. I will tell you why later. Mm-hmm. Oh. Hey, Vamana. By the way, this guy is a dwarf. And I did a bit of research on the guy. And as it turns out, in Shin Megami Tensei, um, no such, is it Shin Megami Tensei? Ah, it's the one with the Kuroha? Ah, well, anyway, this guy is pretty creepy in that one. This one, he's just, well, he's mythologically correct. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. Let me stop you right here, Sukuna. The most dangerous foreign deities, meaning there's more than one. But when Krishna emerged, as you know, spoiler alert, well, not really, he's alone. So what other deities is he talking about? And also, well, in my opinion, he said that believing, there's a bunch of demons plus quote unquote Krishna, but knowing Krishna, so if you read in the Bhagavad Gita, there's one verse Krishna says to Arjuna that explained why he comes on earth. I don't know the Sanskrit by heart, even after 5 years, but basically it is to annihilate the miscreant and to give pleasure to my devotees. I descend, well, Prabhupada translated it as millennium after millennium, but it is yugas after yugas, and yugas are a different age, are a different length. The first yugas, Satya Yuga, is the longest, and the shortest one is Kali Yuga, the one we're in right now. So in Kali, in all yugas, there's a yuga avatar. In Satya Yuga, it is Varahadev. In Tetra Yuga, which, okay, in Tetra Yuga, that would be, okay, no, it's not Lord Ramachandra. So there was, okay, so in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Garga Muni, during Krishna and Balaram's naming ceremony, he tell to Nanda Maharaj, Krishna's foster father, well, quote unquote, real father, he tell him that your son came on earth 4 times already. The first time it was white, so Adivarahadev is white. The second one was, okay, no, first there's red, no, um, Shukra, Rakta, Shyam, Hem, Shyam. No, no, I'm not the best to remember those things, unfortunately. But he came as a red incarnation. Yes, because Varahadev is also red. A white incarnation. Hmm. Wait, let me ask the actual expert. Yeah, okay, we have. Wait a minute. Temple's here. Temple's here. You can't. You have to use this. Yeah, we use that one. Okay. There you go. Um, okay, so if you heard basically a little bit of what happened in the Hare Krishna temple in Montreal, people coming in, we, as long as it's not 10 people plus. So I just asked one of the elder devotees, and she doesn't remember because once again, when you're talking about the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, yes, Krishna's God, there is so much to know about him that our teeny tiny minuscule human brain cannot comprehend. So what I would tell you about him is basically what I know. So dangerous for deities. Well, first of all, Krishna's not forehand, he's God. Second, there was only one God in there. And third, yeah, he's dangerous to the demons. But to the devotees, well, so the Lord is equal to all, but he does have a special affection for his devotees. He's still partial, but he naturally loves his devotee. He's still very partial though, but yeah, if you may say, oh, this is just into bootlicking. Well, uh, as the devotees, well, some did. Oh yeah, he's completely right. It's completely secret. Because God's there, buddy. Oh, really? You sure? And as he's being clueless. Hashtag, that's what the devotees does. I love Odin. So is he talking about Krishna now? Because he is the seed-giving father to all living entities. Nah, it's not. Okay, so I don't think you want to have a recap of his death. When I wrote the okay, why must you unseal the ark? Well, because apparently a Murti of the Lord is there. Well, that's kind of wrong. because Krishna, okay, he is in Vrindavan, in his home place, in the highest spiritual abode. He's called a black snake. And there he doesn't have to follow his own rule because, he's the supreme personality of Godhead. And does he act evil even if he's completely free to do anything and everything he wants? Well, he does tease the gopis. He does steal the gopis' clothes. He does steal the butter, the milk, the yogurt from the elder gopis when he's older, when he's young, when he's a young boy, and then older he does the same thing to the gopis that are around his same age. And the great thief of heart also steals everyone's heart. So I guess if you mean, stopping your materialistic endeavors, removing all the stuff that you think you may need, like home, family, respect, and all, and then giving himself all completely to him, to you, because once God takes away everything, and that you're still worshiping him, then he is forced by love to basically surrender himself to you. So I guess that's evil. I don't know. I'm just a simple devotee. So, no, the world cannot imagine Krishna, but Krishna's not evil. Evil are people who want to exploit everything around them for their own sense pleasure. If they can get away with it, they will. But thing is, there's a divine justice. So even those who think, oh, I've got performed a perfect crime, I'm too powerful to be touched by justice, and no one can stop me. Well, there's death, there's Yamaraj, there's Krishna. Basically, you can get away with nothing. So evil never prevail, even if it seems it did. Nope, no, there's divine justice. It's a justice beyond our comprehension. And this is why bad thing happens to good people. Yeah, karma is justice. The pandemic we're having right now, I mean, come on, the amount of animals that have been slaughtered, the amount of children that has been murdered, the amount of women who has been exploited, the amount of earth that has been burned to have more land to feed cows that will be slaughtered. Basically, that's just a small snap. And also in Texas, yeah, the cold snap, all the drought you're having right now, this is called global karma. Okay, there's universal karma, there is global karma, and then there's um, national karma and um, provincial karma. I'll call this that because I'm Quebecer. We call them province, not states. And then personal karma. So, oh, if you think you have it bad, I mean, the pandemic, that's, everywhere right now. And depending on how much sins has been committed, that's how bad it is. And if you think, well, that's not fair, well, no, it is fair. It's a bank balance. There's nothing unfair happening. I know you hate to hear it, but that's what it is. Like, you don't like to be told that you'll be punished for something you did. Well, we're being punished for something we did. So, how do we stop being punished? Well, first of all, you actually learn what God has to say about some matters. You stop doing the bad things that cause other people to suffer for your own sense gratification. And you chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. And you offer everything you eat to the Lord. Yo, yeah, God's hungry. Well, He's hungry for love. Anyway, more gods. Once again, sometime Krishna will cause chaos. It's like when you clean a room. To those who clean a room, the first thing you do is you move if you want to really clean something deeply, the first thing you do is you move stuff around. And then what happened when you do? You find more dust, and the room seemed to be even worse. But at least you find all the dust the crud is one green chicken, maybe nugget that has rotten. You find the gross stuff, and then you can clear it out, and then everything is back into place, and everything is clear. And this is what is happening right now. So yes, actually, the world of Shin Megami Tensei needed that chaos. Oh yeah, I do. Huh? Bit fathery there. Okay. Okay, here we are. There we go. So I missed a bit of dialogue, but I don't think that's important. Yeah, good for you, girl. Obviously. Also, he's dressed to kill right there. Um, so yeah, sometimes Shiva lingas are oblong, sometimes they are round, and yes, it can be all over the world. Um, I know there's Stonehenge is a probable one, and also if you go in Russia, even I mean, look at Shiva lingas around the world, and you'd be surprised it's not just in India. I don't know. Hey, Holden. So, what I like to think is that this really is Krishna. And one thing about Krishna is that he's never alone. He's always with his friends and associates. As Vishnu, they are called the Vishnu Dutas. They have four arms and they look just like Vishnu, except that they don't have the white line of hairs on his chest, on their chest. So Lord Vishnu has two lines of hair, two sets of lines of hair, words. So one line on his heart, this represent Srimati Lakshmi Devi, because that's where she's at. That's where she's at. Yeah, Lakshmi Devi's okay. Lakshmi and Vishnu, they're waifu and supreme waifu, supreme husband though. And on the side of the Lord's chest, so one time the Lord got hit on the chest by the foot of one Muni called Brigu. The reason why he did that, well, Brigu wanted to see who was the supreme personality of Godhead. So he disrespected his father, Brahma. Brahma almost killed him. He insulted his brother Shiva. Shiva also tried to kill him. And then he went to Sri Vishnu's home in Vaikunta in the spiritual world, walked up to Vishnu and kicked him in the chest. So in India, you don't touch people with your feet. You're not even supposed to move anything with your feet. If there's something on the ground that needs to move, you bend down and you move it. You don't touch it with your feet because feet are considered extremely filthy. It's like throwing your poop at people. So yeah, I don't know if it was in India and Pakistan, but I know George W. Bush got a shoe thrown at him, and trust me, it is worse than flipping the bird at someone. Actually, it's the worst thing you could do to someone. It's like I it's like throwing dirty tampon and then it as a it's like throwing dirty tampon at someone. It's disgusting. It's the greatest insult. So yeah, Brigu went to Lord Vishnu and kicked him in the chest. And Vishnu got up from his seat and, oh, I'm so sorry, my dear Brigu. I should have stood up the moment you came in. Please have a seat. What may I do for you? This is when Brigu realized, yeah, that's a supreme lord, because he never saw this as an offense. And no, God, the Lord, doesn't see any offense for himself, because he doesn't have any false ego. He doesn't have any self-importance. He is the most humble. Krishna is the most humble. Even if he puffs up his chest, it's hidden humility. And yes, I say that, and I know how it sounds like. Um, so this is the two mark that the Vishnuduta doesn't have, and also the Lord has a jewel named the Kaustuba gem. It is a some people say it is a ruby. Other people say it is a sapphire, and on it is etched a cow. And only Sri Vishnu, any avatars of the Lord will wear that. Not anybody else. If somebody tells you I'm an avatar of Vishnu and I'm an avatar of this and that, well, no, because you're not in the Holy Scriptures and you don't have those marks. So there. So as I was saying, once again, I'll talk my mouth off on this one because I love talking about Krishna. It's a pandemic. I barely see people. Yeah. So Odin. So Krishna has a friend that has two friends. One is called Sridham. The other one is called Subal. Sridham is as blue as Krishna. He is Srimati Radharani's Krishna's consort. He's her older brother. He is the son of King Vrishabhanu and Kirtida Sundari. And he is a bit older than Krishna and, well, a bit older, but still around the same age. And it is known that he can defeat God in wrestling match. Yeah, and then he forced Krishna to carry him on his shoulder. But most often than not, Mother Yashoda, Krishna's mother, will interrupt Sridham. Yes, Krishna has a mother. When we say Mother of God, it's not Mother Mary, it's Mother Yashoda and Rohini and Devaki. So, yes, God has a mother. No, he's not born from her. She's just eternally his mom. Because, okay, in the Srimad Bhagavatam 10th canto appearance of Lord Krishna, Lord Krishna was transferred from the prison cells in Mathura to be exchanged with his little sister Subhadra, the next morning when Mother Yashoda woke up, once again, she just gave birth. Those who gave birth will know it's not an easy thing, except for those few very fortunate ones. So she woke up like, okay, did I give birth to a boy or a girl? It's kind of like, Pokemon in real life. Are you a boy or a girl? But this time, Professor Oak, who's your neighbor, she actually has, there was no ecography at that time. But I also know that Indian mom know how to predict the birth of their grandsons, and I've had one grandmother or new grandmother who knew exactly what baby would come, what gender the baby would be before her daughter-in-law took the test, got the picture taken, and yes, it was indeed a boy born on Rath Yatra, holy day. And they recently had their second son, also born on a holy day, the appearance day of our Acharya, Srila Prabhupada. Now we know he's not his reincarnation. Srila Prabhupada is somewhere else in the universe preaching. Nothing will stop him. So, yes, Krishna's family. Once again, there's a lot to tell about him. So that's Sridham. He's blue. Next best friend of Krishna. This is a friend who's so close. I cannot even start to explain to you how close they are. His name is Subal. He's younger. He's 2 years younger than Krishna, and he's bright golden. This is Odin. Odin is blue and gold. And yes, in the spiritual world, there are fusions of great personality. Yeah, no, we're not pushing the play button anytime soon. So, the first and foremost of those fused personality is Krishna himself and Radha. Yes, Krishna has an official fusion between him and Radha, the source of all Lakshmis. Krishna is the source of all Vishnus. Srimati Radharani is the source of all Lakshmis. Krishna is the potent. Srimati Radharani is the potency. Krishna is the sun. Srimati Radharani is the light. You get it? Okay. So first the Lord was one, but falling in love with himself, he desired to be a woman. And thus the perfect woman came into being, and that was Srimati Radharani, his potency. And the first thing she did was to serve him. Now, feminists, shut up, please. This is how it happened. Srimati, being a woman means you serve the supreme man. And no, you cannot find a good man on the planet anymore. Because a real man, that's Krishna. And all souls are female. So there. If you want to be a real feminist, worship Srimati Radharani. Um, so Srimati Radharani immediately began serving the Lord, serving Krishna. And then Krishna realized, hey, wait a minute, I am called the supreme enjoyer, but Srimati Radharani enjoys me more than I do her. That's not fair. So, with this mood, Krishna and Radha became one again, but he gave the control to Srimati Radharani, and this resulted in, let's see, this is Radha Krishna, this is Radha and Krishna, Krishna's Buddha, Radha his gold, those are their eternal associates. Um, do I have an image somewhere? Photo. Do I have an image of Gauranga? Okay, I have Nashimadev. Ah, okay. So this is Shriman Balaram. Well, this is not Balaram actually. This is Nityananda, who's Balaram. And this, glowing on his heart, this is the official fusion between between Sri Krishna and Srimati Radharani. His name is Gauranga, and this is basically Krishna in the mood of Srimati Radharani. If you want to know more about him, I would invite you to please look up the Chaitanya Bhagavat and the Chaitanya Charitamrita. We have narrations of this. We have classes. We have the actual books. Read it. It'll change your life. And yes, but Nityananda Ram is also described. So, bet you didn't know that, eh? Okay, back to you two. Now, and so yes, fusions are there. I think that's a fusion. Let's play a spray. I'm, I'm sure. Okay, those are two cowherd boards. They're like 12 to 14. They're just having fun now. Like, kids, they just like playing evil. Right now, they're just having fun. Now, another head canon is that okay, we don't know anything about Tanashi, even if we played through his story, and we know not all close to nothing about Akira, his previous life. In my humble opinion, of someone who's not an Altus employee or the guy who made that story, now I won't bother looking up his name, um, is that Akira used to be a Hare Krishna. And when he went up to the angels, that's because he just wanted to get the devotees who got stuck in Tokyo out. But unfortunately, the next time he came down, um, because they were worshiping a god and were so called taking resources, while the hunters, either the hunters or let's just say the hunters, let's make it edgy. It was the hunters killed Krishna's devotee. So Akira, in great anger, took what remained of the deity of Jagannath Baladev Subhadra, the only one that managed to survive the massacre, and those were burnt. Subhadra was burnt, and the deity of Balaram was also burnt. So if you go and look, Jagannath, Jagannanath, you will see it's not just Jagannath, there are three more. So the white one is Balaram, the yellow one is Subhadra. Now I don't have their pictures, and no, I won't bother looking. It'll make it too long. Um, so Jagannath. So with this, Akira took the form of Jagannath, Baladev, and Subhadra with him, and he brought them to the Kanda no Yashiro. And after killing all those gods that were there, the really dangerous one, with the help of Mastema, he put Krishna, the damaged Murtis, under the stone orb. Now, because we do have deities, no, they're not idols, they are Murtis, they are Archa Vigraha. It's another incarnation of the Lord. Once again, the Lord will come as often time as needed to get us out of this place. That's how much he loves him. A dad will come to get his son out of trouble as often as possible because he loves him. Hmm? God's the father, God's the mother. That's how he worked. That's how he rose. So you, when a is destroyed and cannot be fixed, which sometimes happen, like recently in New Zealand during the earthquake, that mortise of Goranitai on the altar that were that's Goranitai appearing in what appeared to be marble, they fell down and broke in a way that nothing could have repaired them. No devotees knew how to do it. And to repair them would cost them more than more than the temple, and they had to rebuild the whole temple also. It was pretty bad. So they went to the ocean with the broken pieces wrapped, the sacred broken pieces wrapped in a white cloth, and then they threw it to the ocean. So if you have any sacred paraphernalia, you don't throw them into garbage. Even the flowers, which is you put them into water or you burn them because it's considered sacred. And water is pure, fire is pure. So you just put them in a pure place. Now, this is what Akira did. Now, and then he came back up, and then, he just carried on with his life, and then he didn't bother hiding to the angel that no, he was actually against them. And then, after the angels killed him, the Lord actually came to save him before the angels got anything to say. And he says, hey, listen, Akira, I need you to here on earth again. I'm about to appear back in Tokyo. I am ready to get out and to have my pastime, but for this, I need you as my catalyst. Let's play together for a bit. Why don't you say, let's make things better, my dear Akira? And thus, he took birth again. Akira took birth again in a very, very pious family. We're talking true God lover. We're not talking about fanatic here. We're talking real, honest to Krishna God lover who had their revelations, who lived outside of Mikado, practically um, casualry, except that the man once was a samurai and he was born of them. But record scratch Jehovah record scratch knew something was up because a certain Narada warned him. So he sent the angels to kill those pious souls. And with the small child, Mastema managed to take him away and to hide him in the sky tower. And yes, he also had a hand in rearing the little babe too. And when um, the boss came up, Mastema gave the boss the nameless orphan. Actually, his name is Emmanuel, or instrument of God, or Manuel. And of course, he became Nanashi, or the nameless one. So the boss raised him, and then now Krishna is about to meet his pure devotee and he's about to play with them. And if you say, yeah, but you're on the other side of Krishna, well, there's another devotee who was going against Krishna. Oh yeah, because if when Krishna want to have a good fight with someone, the only one who can go to him toe to toe are his own devotees. We have Jai and Vijay who were thrown out of Vaikuntha. And that was what they wanted, by the way, and they took birth as the first demons, Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. Hiranyaksha threw Mother Earth below the coastal ocean and was killed by Adivarahadev. And now we're talking a battle of universal proportion. Like, think about Gurren Lagann, but with a huge boar. Right? We're talking the world's most beautiful boar ever, and a big demon with golden hair and golden eyes and sharp teeth with a club. Yeah, they're fighting in water. And the planets are around, and the demigods are fearful, and it is epic. And yeah, Varahadev basically just bitch slapped the demon all across the universe. True story. And then the Hiranyakashipu was defeated by Nrsimhadev. You know the lion you saw back there? Yeah, that's the Shimadev. That's his mood. He's got the pissed off father because you heard his devotee. Shri Prahlad, 5-year-old boy, 5-year-old devotee, born of the great demon Hiranyakashipu. Now, Hiranyakashipu is against the Lord. So when he heard that his son was worshipping the Lord in Ubhakti, he tried to kill his son over and over and over and over again. But his son was so surrendered to the Lord that, he kept no selling his father. And when his dad tried to kill him personally with a sword, well, that failed because he asked Prahlad, so, where is your God? What's the source of your power? Prahlad says the same as your power, the Lord. And Hiranyakashipu got so mad. He says, okay, so where is your God? Why does he keep protecting you? Prahlad says, he's everywhere. Hiranyakashipu says, okay, show me where. Is he there? Yes, father. Is he there? Yes, father. Is he in that solid marble column? Yes, father. So Hiranyakashipu take a sword, go and strike the column breaks, and out emerged Nrsimhadev like fire from a from a bomb, okay? He is taller than Hiranyakashipu, who was considered a giant at that time. He is half lion, half man. Yes, the Adi furry is the Lord. And I don't know what type of noise you made when you're pissed, but the Shivadev roared so loud the universe heard it. Yeah, it was a universal roar. And oh no, he literally gutted the guy with his nails. Because, Hiranyakashipu got some blessings that he was not supposed to be killed by anything. And the Lord, Krishna took the third option as Nrsimhadev. And since he was not supposed to be killed by either an animal or a human during the day or the night, on the air, on the ground, or in water, in the house, outside the house, basically, Hiranyakashipu thought all of his bases were covered, and the Lord says, "Nah, all your bases are belong to us." And he ripped his guts apart and garlanded himself with the bloody mess. Yes, that's the most metal incarnation of the Lord. And after that, he saw Prahlad, threw the corpse off of his lap, and took him on his lap, and started licking him. Oh, my dear Prahlad, are you okay? Yeah, that's true. Also, that's his. This is in the Narasimha Puran, and yeah, we love Nrsimhadev. We adore him. He's so protective and sweet at the same time. Okay, other devotees that were at the other side. Next incarnation of Hiranyakashipu, Kumbhakarna and his brother Ravana. I'm sure you've heard about him. If you know Lord Ramachandra, Kumbhakarna, a giant, and Ravana, the king of Lanka, now known as Sri Lanka. And yes, it did happen because Ram Situ is older than the shale around it. Now, after that, we've had Shishupal and Dantavakra, which Krishna killed, and that was their last life. And then with Lord Chaitanya, it was Jagai and Madhai. And another one is Sri Bhishmadev. And Bhishmadev was a pure devotee from birth. And, he shot arrows at Krishna. And it's described in the Srimad Bhagavatam that those arrows pierced Krishna on the battlefield of Kurukshetra because Krishna wanted to protect Arjuna. And Krishna, okay, the reason why this whole thing happened, Arjuna said to Krishna told to Arjuna, I promise I won't fight. Okay, I swear I won't fight. Because let's be honest, that'd be totally unfair. But thing is, Krishna was holding his hand behind his back and crossing his fingers because um, well, Bhishma wanted to fight Krishna, so with this desire attacked Arjuna with such intensity that Arjuna would have died. So Krishna just jumped off the chariot, grabbed a random, so-called random chariot wheel, and those things were heavy back then. We're talking solid, either wood or solid gold heavy. Lifted around his hair and bum rushed Pitamahat Bhishma. We're talking, it was like a lion attacking a prey. Like It was like a lion attacking an elephant, and the ancient lions, oh yeah, they could take down the elephant. Those things were scary. They were the true king of the jungle, not the little kittens we have right now. And as he was rushing toward Pitamaha Bhishmadev, Bhishmadev, the pure devotee, the first one in the Srimad Bhagavatam, who glorified Krishna, took up his bow and kept shooting at Krishna. Garland broke, and Krishna was bleeding. He manifested blood. He manifested sweat. He manifested what Bhishma wanted to see. And Bhishmadev did this out of love to give Krishna the pleasure of a Kshatriya fighting until the bitter end. And then Arjuna says, Krishna, remember your promise, remember your promise. And Krishna stopped. So once again, yes, what you're about to see, the more I think about it, the more I think, yeah, Shin Megami Tensei is basically just another pastime of Krishna. Because as much as we think, oh, that's not right, there are things that, yes, Krishna did. He's right. Plot hole. Nanashi is not human. Because if you look inside the menu of Shin Megami Tensei Apocalypse, you see that he is not a human anymore. He's a god slayer. Meaning, he should not have been able to open the seal. Also, Krishna's not seal right now. He's everywhere. He's in the atom. He is the seal, in the seed, the seal, out the seal. So right now, Krishna is basically, oh, come on, Odin, stop speaking. I want to see my devotee again. I can totally see that. Listen, I know a little bit about Krishna, and I know what little I know that Krishna loves his devotees so much. You cannot put it into words. That's what Krishna thinks right now. Nope, we ain't coming down now. Come on, no. Okay, sorry, I just wanted to see the Lord out. No. And Krishna was under there touching Manuel's feet all the time. Now, what you don't see during the sequence is that Krishna sneaked out, embraced his devotee, fainted, came back to consciousness, had a conversation with him, went back to Goloka a bit, came back down. Once again, had his Yoga Maya cover his his pure soul's memory, and then went back to seal. And he's back. And this is Krishna just hamming it up. My freedom to be with my devotee. So you know what? Let's stop right there. It's already almost an hour. Next time, next topic, Krishna's appearance and how, yeah, I do like it.